You guys are watching the latest college football playoff top 25 rankings, the second-to-last edition, actually. I am Tom Downey. That is Harrison Graham. We'll reveal the top 6, because that's, of course, what most of you are here for to start with. Alabama 1, Notre Dame 2, Clemson 3, OSU 4, A&M 5, and Iowa State at number 6.
Yeah, this is what we projected. Bama's looked like the best team all season. Notre Dame's taking care of business. They have that nice win over Clemson. Clemson and Ohio State hold firm at 3-4 after not playing this week. A&M did not play either as their game with Ole Miss got scrapped, which, by the way, Ole Miss isn't a great quality win, but that's a missed opportunity in a nationally televised primetime game to show that maybe you are a playoff caliber team. So they lost out there. Then Iowa State coming in at number 6. They will, of course, play Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game.
All right, folks, as we often do, I want you guys to grade the CFP committee's rankings this week. A, B, C, D, or F. Harrison, I'm flunking them again.
Just wait until you get 7 through 25.
That's why I'm
giving them an F. They're bad again.
All right, get your votes in there, folks. A, B, C, D, or F. Do not feel afraid to throw some shade your way.
I'm only seeing Fs in the
comments.
Good,
I'm proud of you guys. Only Fs in the comments section. Here's why I flunked them. Florida loses to LSU. They drop one spot. Georgia goes up. And Cincinnati drops a spot despite being undefeated behind two loss teams.
Look, when you beat Missouri,
Three, I think, Iowa State.
When you beat Missouri, you have to move up. That's just how it works in the college football playoff rankings. When you lose to LSU, the defending champs, you can only drop a spot. That's how it works, right? It just means more in the SEC, at least to the College Football Playoff Committee. Cincinnati's being robbed once again. They're at number 9. Oklahoma rounding out your top 10.
Shout out Georgia, and there's 0 top 25 wins because Missouri doesn't count anymore.
I'm old enough to remember when Georgia's best win this year was over Auburn, who just fired their coach.
Yeah, exactly, right. All right, we're going to get to the rest of the top 25 here. Before we do, if you haven't done your holiday shopping, like me, who said that? You can go over to chatsports.com/CFB sale. Save 50% on a whole bunch of different college football gear, from hoodies to T-shirts to face masks to sweatpants to hats, all kinds of stuff for your favorite team or your dad's favorite team or your friend's favorite team or whatever. Chatsports.com/CFB sale. And also, if you're difficult to shop for, like Harrison, for example, because he doesn't know what he actually wants in life, just send him this link. Like your family, your mom, whatever, will be able to get you something. Chatsports.com/CFB sale. Check the comments. Check the description. That link will be in there. All right, 11 to 15 here, Harrison. Indiana, Coastal Carolina, USC, Northwestern, and UNC. This means USC is done.
I think the main talking point here is two things. One, USC, no path to the playoff, in my opinion. They could beat Oregon by 100 points. Doesn't matter. Northwestern, I think that eliminates them too. Even though they get a chance against Ohio State, if they somehow won that game, you're telling me they're going to go from 14 to 4?
Yeah.
I don't see it. I think it's Ohio State or bust in the Big Ten. North Carolina gets back into the top 15. They looked really impressive against Miami, who plummeted. Shout out Coastal Carolina. By the way, they're in the top 12, and you got to be in the top 12 as a group of 5 team. If Cincinnati were to lose to Tulsa, the Chanticleer should get into the New Year's Six. By the way, they should put them in anyway because they've had that great of a season. So that is just my opinion. We'll get to 16 through 25 in a minute, Tom. But looking at this map, and we had this before the rankings came in, I think you can slide Northwestern and USC into enjoy bowl season.
And
because,
we were right to put Cincinnati there, too.
Yeah, I mean, because the committee does what they do.
Yeah, and maybe there's a wild, hypothetical chaos scenario that involves Northwestern beating Ohio State on some BS or something.
By the way,
and USC gets in. I don't know.
With Florida staying at 7, if they beat Alabama,
maybe they have a chance.
Is there a path? I mean, people are talking.
I don't think you could put Florida in over A&M though. I don't think you could.
Unless A&M lost to, because they do have a game this week. I think they play.
Okay, that's fair.
If A&M were to lose this week, in that scenario, I think you could. But yeah, it's ridiculous. They kept them at 7. But yeah, that's kind of the updated look at the map. Reminder: Northwestern, USC, not in the mix, especially the Trojans, in my opinion. The schedule just doesn't stack up. The committee told us that this week, having them at number 13. The answer here is no.
They're out.
They're done.
They're out. They're too far behind.
But hey, you can play for a Rose Bowl, and in a shortened year, that's a lot to play for. You beat Oregon, you get to go to the Rose Bowl. There's worse things in life than that.
Oh, A&M plays Tennessee this weekend. All right, through the rest of the top 25 here for the CFP, Iowa's at 16, BYU's at 17. Miami drops 8 spots down to number 18.
They played 2 games this year against good competition, and they got blown out both times.
Yep. Louisiana, number 19. Texas is back at number 20.
They're back into the top 20.
Exactly. Oklahoma State, they check in at number 21. NC State is 22. Tulsa is number 23, barreling towards their championship game against Cincinnati.
Yep.
Hey, UC has more top 25 wins than Georgia. San Jose State's 24, and Colorado is number 25, the other Pac-12 team, which USC did not get to play against.
Number 25, the ultimate. The committee only had 24 teams this week, so they just threw a team in there.
Liberty fell because reasons, all right? Now, these are not the final college football playoff rankings. Those will come out Sunday, noon Eastern time. We will figure out which 4 teams are set to play in the college football playoff. And as weird as this sounds, Harrison, it could just be the current top 4. If Clemson beats Notre Dame, if Alabama wins, and Ohio State wins, it might just be the current 4. So subscribe to find out.
Yeah, subscribe. You don't want to miss it. We may also have some bowl game news potentially on Sunday, TBD on that front, but subscribe and tune in so you can find out all of that information as it comes in. I do want to talk about the scenario you just mentioned here. So let's pull up the top 6 here. Let's say Clemson beats Notre Dame, but, it's competitive. Maybe they beat them by 10 points or something, 31-21, whatever it is. And Ohio State and Alabama take care of business. Let's say if they roll with those 4, you don't want Clemson Notre Dame part 3, though, in the first round, right? But you can't drop Alabama down to number 2 in that scenario. So do you have 1 play 3 and 2 play 4?
Go over that again for me.
So I guess in this scenario, Notre Dame would drop to 4.
Yeah, I think that's what they'd have to do.
Because you're not having them play for a third time before the national
Clemson,
title.
OSU, Notre Dame, Alabama. Wait, where have I seen this before?
Exactly. And how did that work out last time? Not very well.
Which team are you a fan of?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the answer to that question there. A&M, their path is kind of tricky. I think it is mostly OSU loses and probably Notre Dame wins, and you hope that something weird happens in the Big 12 game just to be safe.
Yeah, you don't need both of those, I don't think. I honestly think if Notre Dame beats Clemson, A&M's in the playoff. I think it's as simple as that.
What if Iowa State blows out Oklahoma by 25?
That's the one scenario that makes the committee at least go, right? Because Iowa State, if you take out week 1, which it doesn't work that way, Iowa State's been one of the most impressive teams in college.
The committee basically did take out week 1 because they ranked Louisiana behind them.
And if they've done that, then if they blow out Oklahoma, they could get an opportunity to get in there. It's a weird year, folks. Get your seatbelts on because we'll see what happens on Championship Saturday. But as of now, Tom, your top 6, one more time. Alabama, who faces Florida. Notre Dame, Clemson, 2-3. They will rematch this weekend in the ACC title game. Ohio State, they beat Northwestern this week, and they are in. Texas A&M has a game against Tennessee, but they're pretty much just hoping they get some help. Iowa State plays Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game. They need to win that game and get some help to get into the top 4.